Hi, and welcome to Political Quickie, your political show that subjectively discusses current affairs in South Africa and all around the world. My name is Mapasika Mura. So as I take a break from screaming and shouting at Egypt while playing Uruguay, let's focus on some South African politics. But first, you know what? I really appreciate how Egypt is actually not centering the whole gameplay on just their key star player Mohamed Salah, but they've kind of sort of tried to, spread it out. Not that he's the only talented person on the team, but I think they learned a little something from Brazil, that defeat in 2014 by Germany, that 7-1. Probably one of the most funniest matches I've ever seen in my whole life. So yeah, I am rooting for Egypt, and let's just see how they do. Anyways, let's focus on the politics at hand. So, Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane has found that Western Cape Premier Helen Zille's colonialism tweet violates the executive member's ethics code, as well as certain aspects of the constitution. You'll remember that Helen Zille tweeted that if you think that the legacy of colonialism is all negative, then you should probably consider the judiciary, the infrastructure that has contributed to the development of South Africa. So the public protector said that it's not only offensive and insensitive to a certain sector of South Africa, but it amounts to the incitement of imminent violence. You'll remember that the commander-in-chief of the EFF, Zille Malema, said that the health system functioned better under apartheid than it does under the ANC-led government. And of course, the Minister of Health, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, came out saying, no, absolutely not. He said that he worked in hospitals during apartheid where there were no doctors. So Helen Zille did come out and say that, you know what, she will take the findings of the public protector to be reviewed, because as we know, the findings of the public protector are not a mere suggestion or opinion, but they are binding. I know you're probably wondering, are there racial double standards where you can say a certain thing and not be allowed to say something else just because of the color of your skin, considering that, Helen Zille sparks outrage by supporting certain aspects of colonialism, and Zille Malema, doesn't spark that much outrage by saying certain things about apartheid in the health system, as well as, other controversial racial things. But please hold that thought for a second. Here are a few facts. Number one, Helen Zille, apologized for her colonialism tweet, and she said that she was repentant, clearly noting that there was something wrong about her tweet in the first place. Number two, she said that the Holocaust and colonialism cannot be equated because the Holocaust was genocide, meaning that, colonialism was not that bad. Killing people for their land, displacing them, regulating how they live, and that's not so bad at all. She further said that, some of her relatives were killed during the Holocaust. So maybe that is the difference. The fact that people that she cared about were actually impacted by that system. So actually, this reminds me of the comment that Kali Kriel, the CEO of AfriForum, made earlier on this year about how, apartheid cannot be equated to the Holocaust, number one, and number two, it does not amount to a crime against humanity because, get this, only 700 people were killed during apartheid. Only 700 people, according to Kali Kriel, were killed during apartheid. I mean, clearly, history is very, very subjective. Are there racial double standards in South Africa? I wouldn't exactly call it that. The same way white people can't say the word nigger in the US. It's because white people have put themselves in that position. Their ancestors have done things that have disqualified them from using certain words. Here's the thing. If an atrocity was created, right, by people that look like you cannot question it, you cannot downplay it, especially because you are a beneficiary, continuously of that atrocity. So I am sick and tired of people having their own distorted version of what history is. You know what I mean? While Juju can go very, very off track at times, like right? It can go very, very off track. I think at the end of the day, if I had to choose between, all the development that colonialism has brought, the judiciary that's very, very flawless, apparently, and pre-colonialism where we had barter trade and war to Ubuntu humanity, the civilization in Egypt from West Africans that migrated to Egypt, to North Africa, to the kingdoms that were, I would always, any day, choose that over, all this magnificent things that colonialism has brought. People, let's have an honest, real conversation, okay? Look at the Jews and how they went through the Holocaust, but at the end of the day, right now, they're actually one of the most prominent, most wealthiest groups of people on the planet. So instead of us always debating about race, wanting to be accepted or treated fairly, etc., let's rather consider how we can take that energy and put it into our own economic emancipation, not led by some government, but by us. They exchange their currencies so many times within their communities before it will go to Dior and Balenciaga. That's the kind of mentality we need to inherit. The protests and having a black president in the US, for instance, and in the whole of Africa, has that brought any real change you can think of economically? Not really, because it's not the political leaders that are going to make a change. It's us. We need to learn how to build generational businesses, generational wealth. If you look around the world, the whole African diaspora, it's always Africans who are at the bottom of the hierarchy, and we need to change that. We need to instill ourselves with black pride and a true version of history about how we build the pyramids in Egypt. And we need to learn. We need to learn how to manage our money correctly. So all around the world, in the whole African diaspora, we need to seek first economic emancipation, not led by protests, not led by politicians, but us building businesses and exchanging our money in our communities so many times before it leaves. So let's get to work. Let's get to that. These debates, I don't think that in my lifetime I will see all races kumbaya and ride off to the sunset, but we can at least try to ensure that we have economic emancipation. That is definitely something to think about. Right? Yes! So while I get back to the World Cup, I love you guys. Use your talents to serve humanity, and I will see you on Monday.